Hi and welcome to the Hyborian Insider. My name is Erling Ellingson and I'm going to take you into the core of Age of Conan. Okay, today we're going to talk about PvP, or player versus player, which is a big part of Age of Conan. Because the stuff that you do on the battlefield not only has an impact on your own character, but also the world around you. The politics of Hyboria, so to speak. But first we're going to talk about PvP minigames. It's simply an easy way to get into PvP action right away. You just open up this GUI that you can see here. You search for a minigame, such as Team Annihilation, capture the flag, you click search, and you're placed into a queue of players also searching for that minigame. Now, when there is enough players to start that minigame, you simply click, yes, I want to jump into the minigame, and you're automatically teleported into the middle of the action. So it's a simple and easy way to get straight into a PvP minigame. First, we're going to take a look at Team Annihilation. And as you can see here, you have the red team and you have the blue team on a map down here. And they basically meet each other on the battlefield and try to kill off as many people on the opposing team as possible before the time runs out. Now, this is important. The stuff that you do on the battlefield has a direct impact on the character that you are developing. So when you're killing enemies, when you're protecting friends, and when you're completing goals, you gain PvP experience. And by gaining PvP experience, you also gain PvP levels. And by gaining PvP levels, you gain PvP items, equipment such as weapons and armor that only good PvPers can use, basically. Another part of Team Annihilation is the totem that you can see right here. Every team, or each team, has a totem, and as long as that totem is intact, your teammates can respawn when they die. So the other team will, of course, try and destroy your totem to end the game early. Now, another important PvP minigame is, of course, capture the flag, or as we like to call it, capture the skull, as you can see here. This is, basic sort of stuff. You fight your way into the enemy's base, or you hide or sneak your way into the enemy's base. You steal the flag. You run home to your own base, and you double-click on your own flag, and you basically score a point for your team, as you can see being done right here. Now, of course, we have many different locations for PvP minigames. You have, for instance, the Blood Ravine, as you can see here, this outdoor area. And if I bring up the map now, you can see how this area looks right here. You have, for instance, up north you have the red base, and down below you have the blue base. And basically running between them, you have this narrow valley filled with dark places and tall bushes and places where you can hide. And of course, every character in Age of Conan can hide. So you can sneak around and you can ambush people by start shooting at them, as you can see here. And combined with Age of Conan's real-time combat system, this makes for some really brutal, fast-paced action. So it's much more like playing a game of Unreal Tournament or Counter-Strike than playing a traditional MMO PvP minigame, which makes, of course, everything a little bit more fun. Another location is the Lost Temple, this underground Indiana Jones-like place with caves that you have to sneak through, and pitfalls and rivers of lava that you have to avoid getting kicked into, basically. A really dark and dangerous place for PvP. You also have the Hallowed Vaults, as you can see here, which is this labyrinth in the bowels of the earth. A labyrinth of underground passageways, really easy to get lost in. But of course, I'll give you one little tip. You see these blood trails on the ground? If you follow those blood trails, you're probably going to end up in the other team's base. Of course, at the end of any PvP minigame, you get the scoreboard. You can see how many kills you had, how many points you scored, and really measure your own actions up against other players. And of course, last but not least, I'm not going to say too much about this, but we have siege warfare. Guild against guild, dozens of players crushing together on the battlefield, bringing down entire buildings and cities that players themselves have created. It's Braveheart meets Troy meets Kingdom of Heaven. It's something you have never seen before on this scale, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this as we get closer to launch, so please stay with us.